everyone! In this video, we're going to show you 10 simple exercises that you can do at home to become a better dancer for you and your partner.
Those simple exercises are based on what we teach in our online program to couples from around the world. And we take couples that are awkward and scared to dance together into confident dancers that have fun, whether it's at their wedding or any other social event.
So make sure you stay till the end of the video where you can find out how you can book a one-on-one consultation with Joel and Claire.
Actually, maybe a 2-on-2. Well, everyone will get onto the call.
2-on-2.
Exactly.
In this call, we'll find out what your dancing goals are and whether or not we can help you.
Let's get ourselves started with the video. All right, exercise number 1 for you guys. If you've heard the saying, if you can walk, you can dance, well, it's true. So we're gonna go over just a few basic ideas so that you guys will be better dancers. The first thing that you can do at home is to practice walking forwards. So Claire's gonna go ahead and walk forwards. And one of the things that we notice whenever students are going into the dance lessons, they'll walk into the studio normally, but when we start talking about dancing, all of a sudden they start walking really awkwardly and robotically.
It's a little bit of like too much thinking involved, and then we say just walk like a normal person.
Exactly.
And then they start to walk like a normal person.
Exactly. So just get used to and be confident and be aware of how you walk. So for instance, when Claire is walking forwards, she rolls through her feet. She has normal, straight posture, and she's very fluid with how she moves. All right, good job, Claire.
And most of you out there probably walk like that.
Exactly. So just practice being aware of how you do it. Okay. Second part of this tip is going backwards. And this is something that we usually do not do on a regular basis. And so just having the practice of going backwards, not really seeing where you're going, but still being confident that you can travel backwards will be really helpful when you're learning formalized dance actions.
Again, just thinking about normal walking posture as well as rolling through the feet.
Exactly. Our third action would be sideways actions. And again, it's not something that we usually do in normal life, but here Claire is doing her perfect impersonation of a crab. Yeah, and again, just being aware of how you shift your body weight and you use your feet in a sideways or a lateral dimension.
Again, good straight posture, and then just moving your feet underneath you.
Exactly. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Practice these at home. Practice them by yourself. You don't have to be with a partner to do this, and get yourself more coordinated for your dance learning.
Tip number 2 is about changing directions. So often in dancing, we need to change direction from going forward to backwards, side to side, and we need to do it as smoothly and as easily as possible.
Smooth and easy, exactly.
Especially when we're dealing with 2 people together.
Yeah.
But Joel's going to demonstrate on his own because this is something you can practice solo. So going forward, stopping at some point, and then going backwards. Ooh. Yeah? And this is done very naturally, sort of mid-step. Yeah? So Joel doesn't kind of stop all energy and close his feet. He actually stops mid-step to kind of just allow the energy to flow and go in the other direction.
Exactly. A lot of times we see people walking normally, but then when they get into the program and they start trying to dance together, everything again becomes rather awkward.
Awkward and robotic.
Exactly.
Yes. But just think of it as walking and changing direction.
Exactly.
Like somebody was sort of calling your name.
Clara.
And you're like, oh, okay, yes. So to make it as smooth of a transition as possible, which will make it easier for the follow to follow and the lead to lead.
Our third exercise for you guys is helping you to dance to slower music. A lot of times people think that dancing to slow music is much easier, but if it's too slow, it becomes challenging. And an analogy that we like to use is dancing is like riding a bicycle. If you ride your bicycle really slowly, it becomes difficult to balance, right? But if you go at a regular pace, then it becomes very easy to ride your bicycle. And it's the same thing when we're dancing. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you guys to walk again. You can see a little bit of a theme here, but it's what we call our ninja walks. And Claire is going to now demonstrate our slow motion ninja walks. And she's going to do this forwards as well as backwards. There we go. And Clara, nice and slow. And then as well as her sideways actions too. She's going to go slowly from foot to foot.
Yeah, and you can see that my body weight is trying to be quite consistent, not starting and stopping, starting and stopping. This is also slow.
Exactly.
But this is slow and smooth.
Exactly. So we're looking to make sure that the weight transfer is very smooth and not jerky. If maybe, Clara, you do that in the forwards and backwards where we're showing not so smooth, it would maybe look like this. She steps and then she stops. And then she steps and then stops again. Steps and then stops. You could be still with the music, especially if it's slow, using that type of movement, but it's a lot more awkward and not as easy to dance with a partner that way. So again, if Claire demonstrates this in a more smooth way, but still very ninja-like, creeping along more smoothly, well done. Awesome. So practice these, and we're going to go on to tip number 4.
Exercise number 4. This is about body weight before the foot. So if you've ever tried to run before, you would probably lean with the body a little bit before the foot comes out. Yes? And actually, naturally, when you're walking, to walk very smoothly, you will do the same. Yeah? It's only when people start dancing that they think foot and then body. Foot and then body.
Exactly. A lot of times people think I'm learning to dance, it's all about the feet. But actually, people, it's more about the body.
Definitely. It reminds me of a little song, but anyway. So Joel's going to demonstrate how he can walk forward and backwards using the body weight first before placing the foot. They kind of go at the same time, but definitely the body starts the movement so that we can get some momentum, and then the foot follows underneath. So this is another great practice to get that smoothness of body weight transfer, which makes it easier for follows to follow and for us to stay together.
I'll contrast that with foot before body. It's going to look like this.
And this is when students will say, how come we feel so robotic? Yes, it looks robotic, it feels robotic because you're concentrating only on the feet.
Exactly. Or people get stepped on as well because the foot's going, boom, and now we're stepping on each other's toes.
Right. So remember, body before feet.
On to our 5th exercise for you guys, and it has nothing to do with walking, but staying on the spot. Our exercise for you is balancing on one foot. So Claire's going to demonstrate her best stork impersonation. Oh, no, stork? Flamingo. A flamingo impersonation.
We're not that into yoga, obviously.
But it could be, for instance, a tree pose. There's a yoga, yeah. And so you notice Claire is doing her best to engage her core and make sure that she stays nice and vertical. And one thing that we want you guys to understand is that usually when you're dancing with a partner, you're not going to be this static. But if you are confident with your own balance on one foot or the other foot, when you are moving, whether it's quickly or slowly, you're going to feel so much more confident and more natural dancing with a partner.
So practice balancing on one foot so that you don't fall over like me. And be confident standing and walking. Before we continue to the second half of our 10 tips, we want to hear from you.
Exactly. We want to find out which of these tips you found most challenging, as well as which one you think will help you the most become more confident on the dance floor.
So write it in the comments below because we'd love to find out which tips are most helpful. Exercise number 6 is to move to music. So practice turning on your earphones, listening to whatever's on your playlist, and moving to that music.
Exactly. It does not have to be formalized. It doesn't even have to be dancing. So possibly when you're walking, you can put your earphones on and you can just listen to music and you're walking with the beat. So you're going boom, boom, chip, boom, boom, chip. Maybe you can have a little bit of groove. Yeah. Or you can just walk normally, but you're like, right, there is the beat.
Yeah, and practice to slow music, practice to fast music, and change your body speed based on that music.
Exactly. Other times could be, for instance, when you are working out, you could be running and listening to the music, and this is a great way of keeping a certain pace. It could be riding a bicycle. It doesn't have to be dancing so that you train yourself. It can just be music with movement. All right, tip number 7 now starts to involve your interaction with either a partner or possibly if you don't have a partner, An office chair or something that moves around.
Hopefully you have an office chair.
Exactly. One of the vital interactions that we teach within our programs is the idea of pushing or connecting with your partner. So leads, your exercise will be now trying to push the office chair to move while you move forwards. Yeah, we've talked a lot about walking already in our previous exercises, and now we're just taking that idea of using your body weight, being smooth from foot to foot, whether you're doing slow ninja walks or faster actions, but you want to also be aware of your interaction to pushing the chair.
Or me.
Exactly, yeah.
And as follow, we can do an exercise with the chair as well. This time, if Joel maybe sits on the chair or whatever, keep it stationary, or you can use a wall. But the point is to push yourself away from the chair or the wall. Yeah? So you are going to use that pressure against that stationary object to push your body backwards, still keeping good posture and that normal sense of walking. Exercise number 8, again, involves the office chair.
So helpful.
It is. So, just as in dancing, the gentleman is going to lead the lady to often separate and walk backwards, but also he's going to pull us to come back together. So, we're going to do that exercise here. Pretend we are far away, a little bit farther away from the chair, and pull ourselves towards it. Yeah? So, of course, it helps that Joel's keeping it stationary. So you can use a couch, you can use a wall, the side of a doorway or something like that to pull yourself towards. And again, keeping good posture and just walking like a normal walk.
Exactly. On the other side, for the lead, we are trying to get the chair to actually come towards us. Yeah, so like Clara says, we have pushes, we also have pulls. So in this case, I'm just going to practice now pulling the chair towards me, or we can say retracting my arms to now decrease the space between myself and the chair.
Or partner.
Exactly. Yeah. And so within already now these 2 tips, you can start to develop the idea and the sensitivity of your hands along with the arms and your body to be able to push and pull with a partner. Our 9th exercise for you to do does involve somebody else, yeah? And it has to do with establishing connection. Sometimes people say the eyes are the window to the person's soul. Wow. And we're just gonna do that very same thing. Sometimes we're not used to looking at people in the eye, but as dancers, we have to be confident and comfortable really connecting with somebody else. So what we're going to do is we're just going to practice looking at people in the eye. It could be at work, for instance, someone is speaking to you.
It doesn't have to be your partner.
Yeah, exactly. It could be someone even at the grocery store, maybe you're at the checkout counter. You will just look at them in the eye, have your conversation, instead of being awkward and maybe looking at their name tag or at the food on the belt. Yes, at the walls. Practice.
Yeah, don't avoid eye contact.
Exactly.
Actually practice getting comfortable doing it.
Once you're comfortable doing that when you are dancing with your partner, it will make a world of a difference.
Our last tip for you guys is still to do with the eyes, but more so if you are doing a dance in front of a lot of people.
Exactly. So possibly for you guys getting ready to dance at your wedding, you might be a little bit scared or awkward being in front of your friends or family. So this is going to be a great way of easing your anxiety, getting a little bit of practice without actually performing in front of a bunch of people prior to your wedding.
So in everyday life, when you're in a crowded situation, don't shy away and try not to look at people. Actually get out there, stand up tall, scan the people, and actually try and make eye contact with some of the individuals.
Exactly. So whether you're in a busy mall or in a busy foyer of a building, you can just stand there and kind of smile and just take it in. It could even be for just a few seconds while all of the hustle and bustle is going around you. Instead of trying to be scared or hide or not be seen, kind of stand there for a brief moment, let people walk by you, smile, possibly just get used to looking away from you and through the crowd, and then eventually maybe even making eye contact, give a smile, and then have that confidence when it's your time to be in the spotlight. If you found these tips helpful and you're even more excited about learning how to dance together as a couple, consider learning more about our online program.
Our online program is about building skills of dancing together rather than teaching specific detailed choreography.
So to find out more directly from Clara and Joel, there's a link in the description down below where you can book a call with us. We'll sit down for 45 minutes and have a consult and learn more about your goals, what you're looking for in your dancing, and to see if what we do in our online course will be able to get you where you want to go.
In the meantime, if you would like a blueprint of exactly how Joel and Clara structure a dance without steps and choreography, you will want to download that blueprint with the link in the description below.
Thanks very much for watching, and make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below so that you know when Joel and Clara post a new video that helps you guys dance with ease and confidence.
See you next time.
Bye guys.